From the North Star to the virgin birth, Christmas is a time to take in both the wonder of science and the miracles that go beyond science. Joining us tonight is Dr. Dan Kuebler, Dean of the School of Natural and Applied Sciences and Professor of Biology at Franciscan University of Steubenville. Dr. Kuebler, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on. As a Catholic scientist, tell us about the scientific evidence for Jesus' birth over 2,000 years ago, and why should even skeptics have reason to believe this event happened?
Yeah, the evidence for Christ's birth, if you look at the historical record, very soon after Christ's life, you have Roman historians and Jewish historians writing about Christ and his followers. So it's pretty clear that Christ, it was a historical thing, and you also have the star of Bethlehem, and there's a lot of different sort of explanations for what this star is. Was there a historical record that documents this? Could it be a comet? Could it be a great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn that came together? So there's a lot of different sort of scientific sort of theories of maybe what this star was. None of them necessarily match exactly with Matthew's account, but there is evidence that maybe there was some natural event that occurred in the sky at that time. But that said, even if there wasn't, it's also possible that was a supernatural event that can't be explained by science.
Yeah, I want to pivot now to a topic that really challenges science, and that is the virgin birth. How do you explain this as a biologist?
Yeah, it's funny. One of the things about miracles that, as a Catholic, we believe that they go beyond science. That there's certain things that science isn't going to be able to explain. Now, I've heard people try to explain, the virgin birth from a scientific perspective. There's a process called parthenogenesis, where certain reptiles, like the females, can, their eggs can develop and give a live birth without any sort of fertilization. Now, that's something that doesn't happen in mammals. It doesn't happen in humans, and we know that virgin humans don't, by natural order of things, give birth to live children. Right? There's something that goes beyond sort of the natural order. That's exactly what a miracle is, where God transcends what naturally can occur. And he does that to reveal himself, and there's no other miracle where God reveals himself, I think, any more than the birth of Jesus, right? And it is a miraculous event to show us and reveal God to us.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, there are so many miracles associated with Christmas. Curious, though, are they in conflict with science, and how do you explain them, maybe to a non-Christian or non-believer?
Yeah, there's a lot of the virgin birth, the angel appearing to Joseph in a dream, the angels appearing to the shepherds. There's a lot of supernatural, miraculous events that are associated with the Christmas season, right? I think in our modern day, we assume that science can explain everything there is. There's nothing. A lot of people are under that misperception that science can explain all things in the universe, all things that exist. And the thing about miracles is that we see them not only during the Christmas season, but miracles continue to occur, even in modern times, and over again. They're not as if miracles are not sort of a violation of science, but they are showing a transcendence of what normally occurs in the natural order, to show sort of to reveal God. We realize that the world we live in, and we're limited by our physical nature. We're not imperfect. We're not in union with God in this world. And I think miracles point to that future union with God, when we can transform beyond what our normal natural capacities are.
Yeah, we have about a minute or so left, but I really want to ask you this. I know that you maintain that faith and science really do work together. How is Christmas the perfect demonstration of all of this?
Yeah, I think Christmas, shows, sort of not only the natural world of Christ, coming and being incarnate, being part of the natural world, right? He is, was a physical being here walking among us. And there's something about that shows that the natural world that we scientists study, that it is, it reveals Christ, it reveals God, and that the order, the beauty, the symmetry, all of that we find as we look at physics and chemistry and biology, is something that shouldn't take us away from God, but it is something that's been sanctified by God, because God was part of that. He lived the same chemistry, physics, biology that you and I live, and there's something beautiful about that, and that order that we see, and that reflects the order and rationality of God, and that sort of the study of science, because of the fact that God has become incarnate, really, I think, shows the sort of the unity of science and faith.
Dr. Kuebler, thank you so much for coming on. Fascinating segment. We appreciate it. And Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, and thanks for having me. I appreciate it.